Whoing your business. The great badass Gene Simmons. I had the pleasure of spending 15 minutes with Gene Simmons of the rock band Kiss about a decade ago in Nashville. Gene was hired by Bill Glazier to be the keynote speaker at one of the Glazier Kennedy super conferences. This one was in Nashville. And I'll never forget talking to Bill Glazier about hiring Simmons. Bill told me at the time, he said, Michael, he said, we bit the bullet and we hired Simmons for $150K for a 90-minute speech. And at that point, Bill Glazier was used to spending $15,000 on a speaker, $30,000, maybe $50,000. He had, Joan Rivers, he had George Foreman, he had Cal Ripken, all those celebrities in the $15,000 to $50,000 range, but he had never taken the brass balls move of hiring Simmons. And he said he almost choked when Gene Simmons said, I'll be there for $150,000. But here's the thing that nobody understands is Bill said to me, and Bill is a guy who's, keeps his, he's a very, very frugal guy. Let's just put it like that. And for him to spend $150,000 on any speaker is a big, big deal. But here's what he shared in his $30,000 mastermind, which I was a part of a couple of months later. He said that super conference in Nashville was their most profitable super conference in 11 years. He said that by using Gene Simmons as the guest celebrity speaker, by using Gene Simmons in the mailings, the emails, the videos, and the promotion of the seminar, he said they made more money in that one super conference with Gene Simmons as the highlight celebrity than they did in all of the other ones combined. And they paid him more than all those other celebrities combined. So think about it. It's all about ROI. It's all about return on investment. It really doesn't matter how much something costs. It's all about the return on investment. It's like my daughter taking math lessons now daily from the great Dan Leonis. It's expensive, but it's the ROI. We're trying to give Emory an unfair stacked deck advantage. And it's the same for all your marketing. It doesn't matter how much a full page advertisement is or how much it is to generate traffic. It's all about ROI. But I remember I had the privilege of sitting with Gene. He was there actually 3 days during the event. He wasn't one of these guys who flew in and left. He came in a couple of days early and he would be at the restaurants, he would be at the bars. Guys never drank, never had a drop of alcohol in his life, never smoked a cigarette, never done a drug. This is a guy who founded the rock band Kiss. So he said, he talked about wooing your business. And he said, Michael, the number one thing is wooing your business. He said, it's all about who. Right? He says, he says, people say to me, well, he must be the greatest bass guitarist. He goes, he says, I'm not even in the top 100 bass guitarists in the world. He said, our rock band, he said, me and Paul Stanley, he said, our talents are mediocre at best. He said, we put this group together with makeup to be different and to stand out from the crowd. So he said, Michael, I'm in the Gene Simmons business. I'm in the Kiss business. I'm in the marketing of Gene Simmons and Kiss. He goes, I'm not in the rock and roll business. I don't even know what the rock and roll business is. He says, I'm in the whoing business. And that was his term that I had never heard before. He goes, it's all about who I am. I get paid $150,000 to speak for 90 minutes, and everybody else gets paid 15 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand, 50 grand because, Michael, of who I am. It's not because I'm the best bass guitarist. It's not because I'm a good songwriter. He says, I make the big bucks because of who I am. And he said, every day, 24/7, I who my business. I'm in the Gene Simmons business. I'm not in the rock and roll business. And he says, if you want to make 6, 7, 8, even 9 figures, he says it's all about whoing your business. It's about spending 70 to 80% of your time and energy on the marketing of your company, on the marketing of you personally. When I was in the insurance business, McLean Insurance, I wasn't in the insurance business. I was in the Michael McLean marketing business. When I was in the hockey business, I wasn't in the hockey franchise business. I was in the Michael McLean business. I did the same thing in the barber shop. I was in the Michael McLean marketing business. Every day I was whoing my business. Every day, my emails, my videos, even in Badass Brotherhood here, I'm in the whoing business. I spend 85% of my time on the marketing of this consulting company. Leanne is boots on the ground. Mark is technology and some copywriting. I'm in charge of the whoing of the business. But that stuck with me forever when I had the pleasure of spending a few minutes with Gene Simmons, and it really opened me up to the concept that it doesn't matter how good I was as a practitioner. You know, like what people used to think that I was the best insurance agent. I couldn't even write an insurance policy. I had a license. I didn't write an insurance policy for the last 11 years of my insurance career. I wouldn't even known how to fill out an application. Yet I was the #1 highest paid, most referred, and most respected insurance agent in the entire country. How is that possible? Because of the whoing of my company. I was in the Michael McLean business. When I was struggling at 5 figures, making 30 grand a year, 40 grand a year in the insurance business, before I learned this insider, almost accidental secret from Gene Simmons, is I was in the insurance business. I was selling policies. I was frustrated. I was angry. I'm the best agent. I read more. And that didn't mean anything. The day my life went from 6 figures to eventually 7 figures, $1 million net income per year in the insurance business, is when I focused on the whoing of my business. I shifted from being in the insurance business into the marketing of Michael McLean. I was in the Michael McLean business. Who are you insured with? I'm insured with Michael McLean. Keep that in mind, the whoing of your business, no matter what business you're in. Nobody gives a shit about your product. Nobody cares about your expertise or your certificates or your college education. Nobody at the end of the day cares about that. They care about who you are. They care about your celebrity. They care about the books you've written. They care about the videos you shoot. You're either in the Michael McLean business, or if you're the practitioner, like a dentist or a vet or a chiropractor who's in that business, those jobs have ceilings of 50 grand a year, 65 grand a year, maybe 80 grand a year. The person who's in the marketing of that business, 500 grand a year, $1 million a year, $2 million a year. Just look at the highest paid people in every single industry. Every single industry has the highest paid performance, and every single one of those people is in the whoing business. They're in the marketing of themselves. They're in the marketing of the experience. They're in the whoing business. Gene Simmons is in the Gene Simmons business. Henry Ford was in the Henry Ford business. Elon Musk, do you think that he has the most profitable, best car? No, Elon Musk is in the Elon Musk business. Steve Jobs was in the Steve Jobs business. And you just go down the line. They're all in the whoing business. This is a topic that I have gone deep on the last 7 days. I'm writing the March. I'm just finishing up the March Michael McLean World Building Letter. And there's an example. This one came in my mailbox today. It's the February one. It's a 22-page March edition. And I go deep on this concept that Gene Simmons taught me. The whoing of your company and your business. How to go from 5 to 6 to 7 figures. And how being the best at what you do has nothing to do with making 6 and 7 figures. Your credentials, your college education, your certificates, any of that stuff, climbing the ladder, all that BS has nothing to do with making 6 and 7 figures. So if you want a 2x your income, 5x your income, even 10x your income over the next couple of years, you need to study my March edition, which is I'm just finishing up today. But the deadline is tonight at 12 midnight, 11:59. You need to go to badassletter.com, and it's immigration's open until tonight at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That way you'll get the March edition. It's 22 pages. I'll mail it to your home or your business, and you'll be able to read how I've gone deep on this concept of hooing, not wooing, Ric Flair, but hooing your business, and how you need to be in the personality business. And the last thing you need to be is the doer of the thing. You need to be the marketer of the thing. You are in the marketing business. You're not in the veterinary business. You're not in the flooring business. You're not in the car wash business. You're not in the insurance business. You're not in any of those businesses. You're in the marketing of your particular niche in your industry. The hooing of your business. I'll never forget Gene saying that. So you can also upgrade to Diamond when you go there. That means you get 4 telegrams a month. I mail these to you, first class postage. Those are my most advanced topics. So it's $3.23 a day to be a member of my Michael McLean World Building newsletter. $3.24 a day. And if you want to upgrade to Diamond, you get the newsletter plus the telegrams every week. That's $9.97 a month. It's pocket change for somebody who wants to be a 6 or 7 figure earner, somebody who wants to know about wooing your business. And go to badassletter.com and subscribe right now. I'll throw in a black hashtag Be Relentless Badass t-shirt. So you also get a free t-shirt. I'm not going to charge you for the t-shirt. And they're black, and Leanne will put that in with your March newsletter. If you don't subscribe by tonight at 12 midnight, I don't do repeats of these. That March issue, you won't have access to it. You won't have it in your mailbox, and you won't have access to that Gene Simmons tip that I just talked about. So if you haven't subscribed, go to badassletter.com right now. I'll ship you a free t-shirt, and I'll make sure that this is in your mailbox in the next couple of weeks. That's it, badassletter.com. 2 words that changed my life, 2 words that can change yours. Be relentless.